the easy girls either. They don't want those lower quality, easy women.
Mm-hmm.
But so I have two questions for you.
Okay.
As I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. What are some tips for men who have difficulty talking to women in the first place? The opposite of what you were able to do.
Yes, yes. Well, to answer that question, first of all, men cannot be afraid of rejection. There are so many men that will look at a beautiful lady like yourself, and let's say we're out at a sandwich shop or a coffee shop, they'll look at you and they say, my God, that's a beautiful lady. But they are so afraid if they walk over and start a conversation with you, they feel that fear of you rejecting them, not in a bad way, but, you know, a beautiful lady like yourself, you know, men think, okay, she's probably got a boyfriend, you know, she's probably in a relationship, you know, she's probably married. She just forgot to wear her ring.
But wait, I'm going to interrupt you because I don't think that I'm beautiful. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because men never look at me and they never talk to me and they never ask me out. So I think I like myself. I'm my own pretty, but I don't think that men find me beautiful in terms of dating, trying to hook up with, or anything like that.
Trust me. Yes, they do. Okay. Let me tell you why again. See, is it? I think I think the men that you're running across once again are the exact same men that I just explained earlier. They look at you and they see a beautiful lady, but they are afraid of rejection. See, men who are not afraid of rejection, they'll look at you and say, yes, she is a beautiful lady, and I'm still going to go over there and I'm going to talk with her. I'm going to start a conversation. I'm going to introduce myself, and she's just going to have to tell me that she has a boyfriend, or she's in a committed relationship, or she's married, or she's not interested. And I think that's where a lot of men get caught up at. It's that fear factor. It's fear when they see a lady and they say, I know she has to have a boyfriend. I know somebody has to be in the picture. And it's that fear of walking across a room, especially a room where, you know, you got people looking and everybody's looking at you walking across that room. You try and start a conversation with a lady and she says, well, you know, I appreciate the gesture, but, you know, I'm in a committed relationship. I have a boyfriend. See, so many men are afraid of that. And if men can get afraid of the rejection, because there's a great chance you're going to be rejected. Why? There's only one chance that she's going to say, yes, she's interested in you. But what if she is single and you just don't float her boat? She doesn't find you attractive. She doesn't find you sexually attractive. She could, once again, have a boyfriend. She could be engaged. She could be married. See, there's so many variables or so many things that she could be just not interested in you, and you're not the one. So it's a great chance that you will get rejected. But men don't look at, what about that small chance, that maybe that 5% chance or that 10% chance that she's single and she's attracted to you. And so it's a lot of guys that are like, look, I know the odds are stacked against me, but I don't care. The hell with, you know, all the odds that say, you know, she's in a committed relationship, doesn't find me sexually attractive or things of that nature. I'm going to talk to her anyway. And I think that's what you may be running across, because once again, I mean, you're a very, very beautiful lady, no doubt about that. I know if you were in Louisiana, my goodness, you would have to fight me and offer you.
I think though that see, we don't. I think that Black men are a little bit more comfortable culturally, maybe a little bit more assertive, maybe a little more aggressive. I don't know. And we don't have a lot of Black men here. We have a lot of half of our population is Hispanic, and the other half are surfers or Me Too Democratic people. I don't know. There's a book written by economist John Berger, which is encouraging women to make the first move. In terms of just showing a man an interest and then letting him, you know, in order to make it easier for men. Because there's also this cultural thing where men think that, you know, I I shouldn't want her. You know, the Me Too thing has kind of scared men away. But I kind of think that if men have this really strong drive for sex,
Yes.
they should be going after it. And the fact that they're not, there's some kind of something is off in our society where they're feeling like it's not worth going after. So maybe they're just watching porn instead if they've given up. I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Because it's changing, you know, all over the country. Yeah.
And the flip side that I was going to add on to that is what you just touched upon. This cell phone has changed a lot of things as well, because men don't have to leave the comforts of their living room. In other words, you know, they can go on Tinder, they can go on Bumble, they can go on these different dating sites, and they can just swipe and, you know, leave messages, leave notes, things of that nature, come up with a great profile and make themselves available in that aspect. When I was teaching in higher ed on the college level, a lot of the younger guys would tell me, they would say, "Hey, Pops, we don't even go to the clubs anymore." And I was like, "Well, why don't you young men go to the clubs anymore?" They were like, "No need to, because all the availability of women are right here on the phone." And once they broke it down to me, when they talked about the Instagram and the, you know, whatever is out there, the, like I said earlier, the Bumble and the, you know, Tinder, things of that nature, it made a lot of sense. So maybe you're running across a lot of guys, again, that, you know, have low self-esteem. They're afraid of rejection, combined with the cell phone and the influx of, you know, other ways in which they can meet a women just by just sending a message or just by swiping left or whatnot.
You know, yeah. So, because I work with men, and one thing I tell men, they're very surprised actually, is that they'll say, "I'm really nervous to talk to a woman." And I'm like, you're supposed to be nervous.
Yes.
Because if you come up to me in a grocery store and you're not nervous, I know you're a player. Because a regular guy, a nice guy that I would like, he's going to be nervous. Yeah. And they're like, "Wow, I didn't know that." I'm so surprised. They think they have to have these smooth lines to say, like in the movies. But it's kind of cute. I think women think it's kind of cute when they're nervous. It shows me you're so nervous and you came over here anyway. Even if I don't like you, at the very least, I am impressed with your courage.
Yes.
I would be very impressed. If that ever happened, if anyone ever came up to me in the grocery store and even said hi to me, and that's it, I would be so impressed. I'd probably ask for his number and ruin the whole vetting process.
Listen, but again, with all due respect for you, see, you don't know what it's like for a man, because for a man, it's, you know, there's so many things that are running across our minds that help contribute to that fear. And so when guys tell you that they're nervous and they're fearful, hey, you know, we really are. But like I said, some have just reached a point where they just look at the fear and they just said, "The hell with the fear. You know, she's just going to have to tell me her situation. And if she's not interested, hey, I was expecting that anyway, because the odds were greatly stacked against me in the beginning."
You know, I think for me, that is kind of like, you know, women vet men also. Yes. And one of the things I vet for is this guy really into me, and someone just coming up to me, even though he's nervous, it would be like a very good signal on his behalf. You know, it wasn't just that, it just, I kind of fell into his lap, so to speak. Let's see. So something else about men, some tips for men. What are some you know how we talk about, this is also for the men. We talk about how men often will use women for sex. However, there are women who also put on, I think charm and seduction are masks, is what I'm starting to think. Like, think about Amber H. You know, she comes across very charming and seductive, but she has like borderline personality disorder. And it's not apparent right away. And then there are also women who may use men for money.
Yeah,
And the men can also get played.
that's
So
true.
let's give the guys some tips on something that they can look for to make sure that this woman really likes them and has a good personality. If the man, say, is looking for, even if he's looking for no drama hookups, I don't know, or a relationship or any kind of involvement with the woman, you don't want someone who's going to stalk you or flip out on you or just with you for any other reason than she really likes you. So do you have any tips for the guys on how to vet the ladies?
Okay. Yeah. Excellent question. The first thing I would tell guys is you got to make sure that you're not moving too fast, because see, a lot of times as men, we move fast and we're not even realizing we're moving fast. What do I mean by that? Okay, we met you at the grocery store. We got your phone number. Next thing you know, we're calling you and we're trying to get a date from you. So let's say the woman does agree to the date. In our minds, we're saying great, because now we're trying to calculate or come up ways in which, we can extend the date, have another date with you, which will possibly lead to sex. But if you're moving too fast, you may not see some of the subtle signals that the lady is sending out, as far as she's not interested in you in a sexual manner. She's interested in you for money. So if men are moving too fast, once again, they don't, and see, it's so easy for a woman to play a man. It's almost like taking candy away from a baby. It's almost like a crime that should be illegal, because a woman, all a woman has to do is show a man just a little bit of attention and affection. And a lot of times in our minds, we go from being a rational thinker to just a piece of plastic or a piece of clay, or just something that can easily be manipulated, because the woman told us she's attracted to us. She told us that she has feelings for us. She told us that she feels that we are the ideal man. And so a lot of times all you're hearing is words. And then your next thing you know, she's into his bank account, or, she talked him into a shopping spree, or she talked to him into, remodeling her house. You would be surprised how just a little bit of manipulation from a woman can actually make a man do some things that he never thought he would ever do. For example, this is why some men can go to a strip club and they'll say, okay, I'm just going into this strip club strictly for a fantasy. I'm going in this strip club strictly because, this strip club, or she's providing a fantasy that my wife doesn't like to wear lingerie and things of that nature. I may go in the strip club. I may have a few beers, maybe sit down and listen to some music. But the next thing you know, that stripper has eased up next to that guy. She starts to talk to him. She starts to compliment him, starts to tell him how handsome he is, starts to tell him how great he is. And she just met him. And it's all words. But once again, women, in my estimation, can manipulate men with words much quicker than a man, in my estimation, can manipulate a woman with words. And so that stripper, all she needs is about 30 minutes of her time. Hey, listen, let's go to the champagne room. Well, how much is it? Oh, it's only $2.50 an hour. Okay, no problem. So goes into the champagne room, starts spending money. She like how that going. She's saying, well, I got $2.50 out of him just that quick. Okay, take my number, or let's exchange numbers, and I'll see you outside of the club. And those are just some of the ways in which things can happen so easy and so quickly, because again, the power that a woman has with her words over a man, if a man is not aware of those things, he could be homeless in 6 weeks, because women can, in a lot of cases, can just talk a man out of money, talk a man out of his resources, talk a man out of his retirement, talk a man out of certain things, just by showing him attention or some affection that he may not be getting at home.
So that's Yeah, that's very manipulative. I'm thinking about the type of man that would fall for that
Mhm.
and the type of woman that would fall for the sex thing. Like there's got to be some, there's got to be some internal thing going on with people that makes them very vulnerable to bonding too quickly,
Yes.
bonding too quickly. And for women, I think it's bonding too quickly. For women, being sexual too quick, and for men spending money too quick.
Yes.
Even though you hear about these women that are catfished online with these romance scammers and they give the man money. So there has to be a way that people can kind of like hold on to themselves
Yes.
and not get lost in the fantasy or the limerence, because